Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live session. Today's March 20th, Wednesday, 2024. We're going to be discussing today, talking about manifesting while you have fear, uncertainty about your life, about your future. I know many of you are concerned about what is happening in your life, what is happening for the future, for yourself, for your family, for your loved ones. So this is a topic that I really want to delve into and know that we all are dealing with fear in our own ways. It's just how we manage and handle that fear that really matters. So this is the topic that we're going to discuss today. And if you have any questions on this topic as I'm discussing this topic, please let me know. Put it on the chat. Let me know what questions you have. I'm going to be providing specific tools and practices that you can employ in your life to manifest during times of fear, uncertainty. So before we get going, let's clear the energy of the room, and then we'll get going. Hi, Amanda. Welcome to this live session on manifesting with fear and uncertainty. Let's clear the energy of the room first. Just relax, breathe naturally, and be present in the now. Dear God, angel, spirit guides, and masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing to open the sacred space. Thank you so much for allowing us to discuss this important topic of fear and how to manifest during these times when we might have fear or uncertainty about our lives and about our future. Thank you for removing any low frequency energies that do not belong in this room so that we may create this pure, positive, high frequency space so that we can help our viewers for their highest and best good. Thank you so much for allowing this session to go off without a hitch, to be with flow, serenity, peace, and that the words and phrases and messages may flow just beautifully and naturally. And thank you so much for removing any low frequency energies that do not belong in the sacred space. Thank you. Namaste. Okay, everyone, for those of you who just want to remind you about my traditional Chinese medicine herb formulas under 69 moons. Yuping Fang Sun Plus is to help support a healthy immune system. Xiaoya Sun Plus is to help focus and calm the mind. These formulas are based on traditional Chinese medicine formulas, and we added extra herbs to these beautiful formulas to help you better. So you can get those at shop.yinandyangliving, shop.yinandyangliving.com. Okay, so let's go into the, if you have a question about this topic, about manifesting with fear and certainty, as I'm discussing this important topic, then let me know, and I am happy to answer your questions. Okay. So, I understand that we're all going, there's lots of heavy energies happening in this planet. And so many of us are feeling that, including me, because I'm actually very empathic. So I could feel the heavy energies. And let me tell you, I have to do a lot of energetic cleansing and releasing to be able to function. And so what it is one of the things that I've noticed about myself and about many people, and this is just by observation, having lived, a certain number of years, is that one of the things why we bring fear into our lives is that we always, where we're talking about infinite possibilities of in the quantum field of infinite possibilities with infinite potential of what you can manifest, because we're really talking about the quantum field of infinite possibilities. And one of the things about human nature that we tend to do is that rather than seeing all of the possibilities, we see all of the impossibilities. And it's as if we just default to seeing the impossibilities, to the worst case scenario, to a scenario that we do not desire. And it's almost like human nature that we do that, with that we just keep going and we're shooting that arrow in that direction rather than shooting the arrow in a million other directions that we could shoot that arrow to for creation, building, possibilities. And this is something that I think I've done in the past, and I do it less and less this year. I still do it, but I do it a lot less now. I always focus myself on what is the possibility. So we're talking about the quantum field of infinite possibilities, and our minds go straight default to the worst case scenario or to a scenario that does not honor us, that does not serve us, that does not align with what we desire to create and manifest in our lives. And so, and so when we do that, when we start to go to that worst case scenario, we have fear because we don't know about this, we don't know about this. Oh my God, this is what can happen. This is what can happen, even though the actual possibility, the actual statistics of that is so small. It may just be 2% or maybe even 1%, but we're focusing all of our attention on that 2 or 1% of a possibility that we do not desire. Now, fear is a very important thing. It's a very important emotion that God has given us because there are situations where fear is important because there's situations where you might actually be in danger. You might actually be in danger. And so that's when fear is useful, because you are given fear when you're in actual danger. It's the fight or flight mode. You either fight or you have to flee to protect yourself. So there's a real purpose to fear. It's like an animal, when you see like maybe, the gazette running away from tiger, because the tiger is going to eat that gazette, that animal is in fear mode. Because if it's not in fear mode, it's not going to fight or flight. So it must be in fear and it runs away. And then when it escapes from the tiger, then the gazette goes back to being peaceful, goes back to normal, goes back to peace and serenity. What do humans do? What many of us do is, even though we've maybe escaped that fear, we don't allow that fear to let go when it no longer serves us. We live in perpetual fear. We hold on to that fear energy over and over and over again, and then it no longer serves us. All it does is create anxious, stress, uncertainty, and then creates disease, because stress over time will manifest into disease. And so that's the dysfunction of the human mind, is that we continue to hold on to fear even when it no longer serves us. And we default to the possibility of, the worst case scenario, rather than all of the infinite other possibilities of creation, of building, of manifesting what it is that we desire, right? We're not looking at the 99%. We're going straight to that 1%. And if you think about it, that's pretty insane, right? That's pretty insane that we will go straight to the worst case scenario, which is maybe 1% or 2% of the possibilities, when we could have tapped into the 98 or the 99% of possibilities. So there's an insanity to this. And trust me, I have done it myself. So I could call myself insane at times, because I have done this to myself, where I've just, something comes up and all of a sudden I go to that 1 or 2% of the worst case scenario. And then I start getting anxious, stressed. My mind starts to just run a mile a minute, right? Because we're thinking of like the worst case scenarios. And so it no longer serves it. And then as you keep running these thoughts over and over again, you become more obsessed, you become more anxious, you become more fearful, right? And then it's almost as if you're debilitated. You can't do anything. You're frozen, because when you are in the state of fear, you're frozen. You're debilitated. You can't do anything. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Simi. Okay, let me take it right. So Amanda says, fear into staying what I feel is like an unmatched energy marriage. I've been awakened to his narcissism and my vibrations are sent. Does that make sense? Okay. Fear into staying what I feel is like an unmatched energy marriage. I've been awakened to his narcissism and my vibrations. Does that make sense? Amanda, would you kindly clarify that statement? I'm not sure exactly what you are trying to, if there's a question here or if you're trying to make a point, please kindly clarify what you are asking or stating. I would greatly appreciate it, Amanda. Good afternoon, Elsie. Hello, M-Kid. Hello, Simi. Okay, M-Kid says, I am in burnout mode from chronic stress and CPTSD while also trying to manifest my best future. It feels like I'm not getting anywhere, and I'm standing in my own way. It's true. We are all standing in our own way. Okay, so let me get further into this topic of fear and manifesting in fear, and then I will address your question about this chronic stress. And the chronic stress is what I just talked about, is we keep holding on to fear when it no longer serves us, when it no longer has that purpose. Because right now, if you're holding on to fear, what is there to fear about? You're probably safe in your home watching this live session, right? There's nothing to fear right now. We're fearing something, a projection of the future, which is infinite possibilities, but we're defaulting to the worst case scenario possibility. And we keep defaulting to that, and then we keep retaining those thoughts and repeating them and recycling them over and over again. And it's as if we can't get out of this vicious cycle. That is chronic stress. That's chronic stress. And that's going to hurt your health over time. So we know that. Okay. So one of the things so I just talked about what fear really is. Like, we go to the default worst case scenario, right? When there's 98% of infinite possibilities to be able to manifest, create, and align with what we desire. So what it is that you have to start retraining this mind, retraining how you're defaulting to fear, defaulting to the worst case scenario. You've got to retrain that. And what it is it's a practice. You have to be aware of when your mind is going to that default worst case scenario. So for example, if let's say you're going to move to another state or another country or another city, you're going to make a move. And all of a sudden you have this fear and you're thinking about all these scenarios. Oh, I don't know anybody. I don't know if I'm going to get a job. I don't know if I'm going to have any friends, right? All of these scenarios that have come up that you've created in your mind that has nothing to do with your future and nothing to do with actual reality. You've just created all of these worst case scenarios, right? Oh my God, maybe I'm not going to be able to get a job because it's a new place. I'm not going to be able to find friends because it's a new place. I'm not going to be able to do this, blah, 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 blah. It's all this fear has come up, right? And so as you start to say it to yourself, right, you notice that you have an awareness of what you're saying. You keep saying all the worst case scenarios, this, that. You've got to pause. You've got to pause and you have to say, stop, stop. And you have to come up with some mantras that actually help you to feel better. One of the mantras that I always say is, things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. I don't know exactly how, I don't know exactly when, but things are always working out for me. That immediately makes me feel a little better. Immediately. Things are always working out for me. God is supporting me. My spirit guides are here to protect me. They're always supporting me, guiding me. I don't know exactly how it's going to turn out. The other thing is I say, oh, I'm going on a journey of learning and expansion. This is a journey. So be aware of when you start going into that worst case scenario train wreck. You've got to stop that train before that momentum starts to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That energy, if you don't stop that runaway train, that energy is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so you've got to stop that momentum. So you've got to stop it. As soon as you are aware that you are starting to go into this runaway train where it's all about worst case scenario. Oh my God, this could happen. This could happen. And now you feel like, oh my God, your emotions are starting to come up and you're like anxious, you're stressed, you're fearful. You've got to pause. You've got to pause that because it's going to get worse if you don't stop that momentum. And say things that actually make you feel a little bit better, that is realistic to you. So for me, it would say, things are always working out for me. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know that things are always working out for me. And it's true. Things generally work out for me. They really do. It's really, and it's because it really does. My spirit guides have my back. I'm always supported by spirit guide. I'll figure it out. I'm going step by step. And everything will be figured out in due time. Things like that I say. And then when you feel your energy has settled more, where you're not so anxious, where you feel more calm, you feel more peaceful, and you're not so anxious or stressed because your thoughts are running mile a minute, you've settled your energy, then that is the perfect time to actually do a little meditation or a little practice exercise where you're closing your eyes and you're virtualizing. Virtualizing means you're using your five senses, your sense of seeing in your mind's eye, your sense of smell, your sense of taste, your sense of hearing, your sense of touch. You're going to virtualize the scenario that you desire. So let's say, again, going back to this example of you're making a move to another state, another country, another city, and you're feeling anxious. But now you feel a little bit calmer. You've calmed your energy a little bit. You settled it down. That's a good time to actually start to virtualize. So what you're going to do is if you're looking to move and make that move, you're going to virtualize everything. You're going to virtualize this flow and the smoothness of that move. Maybe you're packing things in your home or your belongings and you're packing it and everything seems to go with flow and ease as you pack everything. Then you're making that move. Maybe the moving company comes and picks up your boxes and you see how flow based that is. They come in and they take your boxes, put it in the truck. Then you might see yourself driving to the new city, from the old city to the new city. And as you're driving, maybe you're making some pit stops and you're enjoying the ride from one city to another city. Then when you arrive, you're going to virtualize like being in the new apartment or the new house, but you're using your five senses. You're seeing with your third eye, you're smelling. Maybe you smell the new house. You're hearing, maybe you hear in the new house your neighbors or dogs barking. You're smelling, maybe you smell the fresh air of the new place, or you smell, you smell some beautiful flowers and plants in your new neighborhood. You're tasting, maybe you're tasting, you can virtualize tasting, drinking a cup of coffee or a cup of tea in your new home. You're touching, maybe you're touching your new furniture in your new home, or the new bed or the new sofa. Actually virtualizing the flow of what it is that you desire that it's all flow based, that everything is happening exactly the way it should. And you're going through this virtualization of this new place with flow, with ease. You see what I'm saying? So then what's happening is as you do that, you're shooting an arrow to actually the quantum possibility of what you desire in that move. And you can also virtualize maybe meeting your neighbors, shaking hands with them, neighbors being friendly. You see what I'm saying? So virtualize what it is that you desire in that move, as opposed to virtualize it or going to the worst case scenario. You're going and you're putting your energetic space, your mind, your thoughts, your energetic space, and aligning that with the type of move that you desire. And that takes practice. So you're not going to do this, once and that's it. You're going to practice. You could practice this every day, or you could practice this every few days. But the best time to practice this virtualization is after you've calmed your energy down. When you're in a high state of anxiety and stress and fear, that's not the time to virtualize, because you're not going to really focus. The time to virtualize is when you've settled your energy better by saying the mantras, or maybe if mantras don't even help, what it is, if you find yourself in that fear mode because you've let your thoughts go rampant with the worst case scenario, the best thing is to get up, take a walk, spend some time with nature, do something completely different. Don't try to force yourself to feel less stress. Allow that energy of fear, sit with it, observe it, acknowledge it. Because as you keep sitting with that fear, and you observe, acknowledge it, it's got to transmute. The energy has to transform. So it will start to run through you. And as it starts to run through you, that's when you're going to start to feel calm, more settled, more peaceful. That is the time to do the virtualization. So when I'm saying to you about fear, it's not to try to suppress that feeling. What it is to try to face it by acknowledging it. You can even say, fear, I acknowledge your presence in me. I acknowledge your presence in me. I know you have a purpose. I acknowledge your presence in me. And you just observe the fear. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it's in your abdomen. Just observe that without judgment. It's neither good nor bad. You want to take judgment out of fear. You don't want it to say it's bad or it's good. It's just simply there. You're just observing fear as just being there. And as you keep observing that fear, observing it, the energy starts to get released because it transmutes, it transforms. There's nothing that stays the same. Energy must always transmute and transform. So it can't stay there forever. If you just observe it without judgment, just observe it without judgment. And say, fear, thank you for being here. I acknowledge you. You have a purpose, but now you no longer serve me. So I let go of you. I allow you to be released from me because you no longer serve me. Right now, I am safe. I am okay. But thank you for the purpose that you serve when I am in true danger. So you want to communicate with fear and acknowledge its presence, and then say, you no longer serve me. I thank you for being here. You no longer serve me. And just observe, and you'll see how it starts to dissipate. So this is a practice that you really want to take on, because it's through the practice that you will start to see the fear dissipate bit by bit, especially when you have that chronic stress, when it's chronic. You've got to practice every single day, because it's in the practice that you're going to get better and better and better at it. Okay, let me see if there's any questions related to this topic. Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, LC Phyllis. M Kid, I am in burnout mode from chronic stress and CPTSD while also trying to master my best future. It feels like I'm not getting you and like I'm standing in my own way. Yes, M Kid, that's what it is. What it is this is that you are standing in your own way because you're holding on to that chronic stress, right? And as you keep holding on to that chronic stress, you're just creating blocked energy. And so even though the universal forces want to send you better cooperative components, better opportunities, better this, better that, to match the desire that you have to leave, to live a more beautiful life, it's as if you've blocked your own energy because of that chronic stress. And that chronic stress is like, it's just and then that chronic stress, as you keep holding on to it every day, it builds more momentum, more momentum, more momentum. So what I would do is can you sit there for even 5 or 10 minutes and just observe where that stress is in your body? Is it in your chest? Is it in your shoulder? Is it in your abdomen? Where is that stress? Where is that fear? And can you just observe it, observe it, observe it without judgment? That's the key here. Keep observing it, observing it, observing it. Do not judge it. And as you keep observing it without judgment, it starts to transmute. That energy starts to transmute. So what I would do with you, M Kid, is just start for 5 minutes. If that's all you could do, 5 minutes. Then maybe for 1 week, you do it for 5 minutes. And then the second week, you could do it for 10 minutes. You could do it longer because you're training yourself. So the more you train, the longer you can do it. And at some point, that chronic stress is going to start to lower, bit by bit, bit by bit. So try this out. Try this exercise out and see if you could just face that stress, face that fear, acknowledge it. It's in the acknowledgement, but not acknowledging either as good or bad, but just acknowledging its presence. And as you keep observing its presence, you're transmuting that energy. So try it. Try for 1 week, even for 5 to 10 minutes. Sit down every single day and see what's happening. And notice where that chronic stress is in your body, and say, I love you. Say to your body, I love you. I love you. I love you. Love is the opposite of fear. Love is the opposite of stress. Love is the opposite of these low frequency energies. So you want to acknowledge and give love, 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 because it's a high frequency. Okay. So thank you for that question. Simi, what is a practical tool we could use to ease the uncertainty or fear in that particular moment? Yes. So if at the moment you're, all of a sudden you have the scenario that, oh my God, something bad could happen right there at that moment. What you want to do, Simi, is you just say pause. Tell your mind, pause, pause, pause. And then what can you say to yourself at that moment that goes to a different possibility? So like I said, there's, 98%, 100, let's say 100 infinite possibilities. And now you just went to the fear possibility, right? What can you say that's a different possibility? Because we're talking about infinite possibilities here. What can you say to yourself? What I say to myself is things are always working out for me. That's one of my, it's the Abraham Hicks, my favorite law of attraction. It's her mantra. Things are always working out for me. I say something like, I don't know exactly how, I don't know exactly when, but I don't need to know that. This is my journey of life is about expansion and growth and learning and going through the journey. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. It's not about the destination. It's about this journey. And as I make it about this journey and I take care of right now, tomorrow will take care of itself. When I take care of now, tomorrow will take care of itself. So what are the phrases that you could say to yourself? Like, I'm okay not knowing the future. It's supposed to be that way. You're not supposed to know everything about the future, because if you knew everything, you wouldn't have to be, your soul wouldn't have to come into this time-space reality. The reason why your soul came into this time-space reality is to have all of these experiences, have the journey of experiences to learn and grow. And part of those experiences is to make some mistakes, because it's in the making of the mistake that you're growing and learning and expanding. So mistake is not really a mistake. It's the precursor to learning for that expansion and growth. So I would say something like, I know it's about the journey of expansion and growth, that my soul is here to learn. And I know that the more present I can be with the now, and the more I can learn the lessons in the now, the more better my future will become. So write down a few things that you could say to yourself. Write it down. Take some time to write it down. And then when you catch yourself going to that worst case scenario, take one of those things that you've written down and say it to yourself. You could say it to yourself, and you could say it out loud. A lot of times I say things out loud, and then you will, and keep repeating it. And then you'll start to see that, oh, okay, this worst case scenario that I had is I'm now going to a scenario which aligns with a beautiful life, which aligns with that which I desire. So write down some of the things that you could say to yourself that you could go to immediately when you've paused your thoughts for that worst case scenario, okay? And keep repeating it. Say, things are always working out for me. I don't need to know everything about the future right now. None of us know anything about the future. None of us really know, and that's okay. That's part of the journey. And to be okay to not know the future now is a very powerful state. And to be okay with that, you are a powerful manifester. So that's what I would do. Write down some of the things that you could say to yourself. Prepare yourself. So when that moment comes, you could, it's almost like you're taking something out of the hat. You're pulling something out of the hat that makes you feel like, okay, I'm going to move away from the worst case scenario and move to another possibility that aligns with the life that I desire. Because we're talking about infinite possibility zone here. Okay, Amanda, his vibrations are so low when he enters the house and drains mine like a battery without even saying anything sometimes. Okay, I hear what you're saying. And fear of should I stay or make a beeline out. You don't have to answer that. Just, okay. Okay, so what it is, you're saying that this person, when his vibration is so low, he comes in, your energy is already drained just by, because he's outputting a signal, right? He's outputting energetic signal. So what it is that, there's many tools to protect your energy. But what it is that I just put out a video about how dependent are you on this person mentally, emotionally, physically? How dependent are you? Because if you are really, if you're dependent on that person for mental, emotional, or even like, let's say, physical needs or whatever it is, you're retaining that energy. You're retaining more of that energy. So you want to be in a place where you're not mentally, emotionally, especially mental, emotional, and even physical, dependent on that person. That's the key here. The less you're dependent on that person, the more, even if that person comes around, that person wouldn't even bother you, because it's kind of like there's no energy that he has over you. There's no hold on you, right? The only way somebody could have a hold on you is if you are dependent on that, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical, right? If you are completely not dependent on that person, you're completely independent of that person, there's no hold on you. So you want to really examine that. where am I? And it could be an unhealthy codependency, possibly, because a lot of people are in unhealthy codependent relationships. And so when you're in that unhealthy codependent relationship, that person's energy is going to affect you in a major way. So I would say examine if you're in that type of codependent, unhealthy relationship, and then figure out how to get out of that codependency. Okay. So that would be my advice. Thank you, Amanda. Laura DeMarco. I feel fear when I am by myself at night when my husband travels. What can I do to pass this feeling? Wow. Okay. That is a beautiful question. And that's the first time that I've gotten that question. I understand, because you feel like your husband is your protector, right? Your husband is your protector. And when your husband is around, you feel safe. And I totally understand that. So my thing is this, is that there's actually spirit guides that are around you always. You have a team of spirit guides that are actually there to protect you. What I would do is I would activate that. I would light up a candle. You know, maybe it's a spirit guide of somebody, a past loved one. Maybe it's an uncle, a grandmother, a grandfather. And I would put a picture of them, light a candle, and I would say, I call upon all of my spirit guides to protect me while I am sleeping, to protect me while I am sleeping, and ask them, call upon them to protect you. And so there's all kinds of different ways that they protect you. It's really, the spirit works in the most infinite ways, the most unusual ways. So if, for example, one of the ways that they might protect you is by, if somebody's trying to break into your home, they might divert that person to another home. You know what I'm saying? That's a form of protection. It's in ways that we can't even imagine. So call upon your spirit guides to help protect you. So I don't know exactly how they're protecting me, and have faith in that process. I don't know exactly how they're protecting me, but I know that they're protecting me. I call upon all of my spirit guides to protect me while I'm sleeping, while my husband is traveling. Thank you for protecting me. Thank you. Thank you for protecting me. So that's what I would do. I would ask your spirit guides to come in and protect you, and have faith in that. Have faith that they can do that for you. I know it's hard to have faith in something that you can't physically see, right? Your husband is a physical person that you could see, but there's energetic protections. I also call upon the dragon energy. You know, when I go into situations that I feel, I call upon, because the dragon energy is a very protective energy. I visualize two dragons, and then I visualize them putting a beautiful energetic shield around it with their fire energy that creates this beautiful bubble of shield around me. And so I say, I call upon the dragon energy to protect and shield me. I've done that before. So ask for that spiritual energetic protection. Ask for it. Activate it and ask for it. Okay. Beautiful question. Okay. Hi, Mija Diaz. Does fear come in hand with always being negative? No, not always. Because like I said before, there's legitimate fear, and then there's fear that no longer serves you. So fear was created by God for a reason, for a purpose, because let's say somebody's trying to assault you or trying to, rob you. That's a legitimate fear, right? Because you are in danger at that point, and you want to be in the fight or flight mode, because if you're not in that mode, something bad is going to happen to you. So not all fear is negative. Fear is there to protect you. However, what happens, and I don't know if you were here before, what happens with humans is that once that danger has passed, we retain the fear. We don't allow it to run through us and release. So we retain the fear when it no longer serves us. We retain the fear when it no longer serves us. And that's when it becomes negative. And that's the thing that humans tend to do. And I've done it before. I've retained fear when, I could be in my home, I'm perfectly safe. And all of a sudden, I'm feeling anxious about something because I'm empathic. So I'm feeling some heavy energies when I'm sitting in my home, very safe. Nothing's happening. And so if you keep holding on to it when it no longer serves you, then it becomes negative. But like I said, fear has a purpose to keep you out of real danger. But once that danger is gone, you want to let go of that fear. Let it go so that it does not have a hold on you. Okay, so that's the answer to the question. It's a really good question. Thank you so much. You guys are almost like geniuses. You guys ask me the most beautiful questions. Amanda, underlying fear of abandonment. Yes, my dog, Happy, that is his greatest fear, is his abandonment, because his previous family abandoned him. And so that is actually my dog, Happy. That's his greatest fear. Absolutely. There's absolute fear of abandonment for sure. Laura DeMarco, the dark and intruder. I was robbed 3 times when I was a teenager. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Laura DeMarco. I'm so sorry. Call upon spirit to protect you. Call upon them. And know that the spirit really wants to protect you. But call upon them. Okay. Okay. Hi, Corey. Thank you so much for your donations. Deeply appreciated. That is so sweet. I think you sent me donations last week. Deeply appreciate it. I never expected, but I deeply appreciate it. Deeply, deeply appreciate it. Thank you so much. And you're welcome, Corey. You're welcome. It's my honor and privilege to serve you. That's my higher purpose, really. It's my honor and privilege to serve you and to do this higher purpose work. That's what this is about. Okay, Leona, what a beautiful name. Things are always working out best case scenario. Yes, say that. Things are always working out for me. Things are always working out for me. I don't know exactly how. I don't know exactly when, but I trust in the infinite wisdom of God and the universe. Things are always working out for me. I say that type of mantra a lot. Things are always working out for me. Okay. Right. Kid, I am moving to a different state and I don't have a place, a job, or friends right. You know what? That's exactly what I talked about earlier. That's an example that I gave. Let's say you're moving to a different state, different city, different town, and you don't know anybody. You don't have a job there. Go back to this video and watch the tool of virtualization. Watch that. Rewatch the beginning of this video where I talk about that. I use moving to a different city or state as an example. So go back, rewind. If you weren't here from the beginning, watch that. I give you a very, very powerful tool called virtualization. And I actually have a guided meditation on virtualization. I have lots of guided meditation that can actually help you with fear, with anxiety, with stress, with virtualization. Use my guided meditation as tools to help you on this journey, okay? Hi, Glass. How are you? Yes, things are working out for me. I don't know how, but they are. Things are working out for me. So thank you so much for asking. You're welcome, Laura DeMarco. Hello, Vivian. Okay, Vivian Nigeri says, is it normal to feel fear when a source of income is blocked or no longer comes through? Whenever I lose a source of income, I usually feel fear and anxiety and uncertainty about the future. Yes, it is normal to feel that, right? If you lose your job or something like that happens, there's going to be some fear, right? There's going to be fear. That's a natural response. I don't think anybody, right? Because now you're talking about your livelihood, right? So there's a natural feeling and there's nothing wrong with that. What it is that during that time when you have that fear, I suggest, as I mentioned before, using the tool of acknowledging that fear. Say, yes, fear, I acknowledge you. And Stare at it, stare at it, stare at it, observe it, observe it, observe it, observe it. Where's that fear? Is it in the shoulder? Is it in the chest? Is it in the stomach? Where is this fear manifesting in your body? And then keep observing that, observing that, observing that. Because as you observe it, you acknowledge it. You're acknowledging it. You're not trying to put it under the rug. And then as you keep observing it, the fear energy, because it's energy and all energy transmutes. It doesn't stay the same. It's always moving, changing, transmuting. It will start to transmute. And then at that point, you start to feel more settled. Do the virtualization tool. I talk about the virtualization. Virtualize what it is that you want. What is the future that you could say, or you can even say a mantra like, you know what, when one door closes, a better door opens for me. When one door, I've used that mantra so many times. When one door closes, the universe has a better door for me. That's why it's closed this door. So you want to make energetic space so that that better income can come in, the better job can come in, the better opportunity come in, because we're talking about infinite possibilities again, right? We're not talking about finite. The universe is infinite. So what it is this, is that you want to reframe it and say, the universe has my back. It's closing this door for me so that a better door can open. You see, you got to reframe that. It's closing this door for me so the better door can open, because it's got to make energetic space. If you don't have energetic space, then the better door can't open. So once you let go of that and you've put it behind you, you freed up your energy, and now you're thinking about, oh, wow, what are the possibilities of the future? I'm going to make more money. I'm going to get a better job. I'm going to hit a better opportunity. You see what I'm saying? So as you reframe it and you're like, oh my God, there's better possibilities for me, you're raising your vibrational frequency. And as you raise your vibrational frequency, the universe is matching it. It's doing this, boom, 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 boom. So that's what you want to do in that situation. But of course, you're going to have some fear at the beginning. Of course, that's natural. That's natural. We would all. But that doesn't mean that your life isn't going to get better. You know how many times I've heard people say, you know what, that was the best thing that happened. It was a blessing in disguise. Because if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have reached this. That needed to happen in order for me to be at this level, at a better level, manifest this beautiful life. That needed to happen. You see? So you want to tap into the infinite possibility zone, not stay in that fixed lack zone. Because that's just one possibility of many possibilities that could happen in your life. You don't want to stay fixated on that one possibility. You want to open your energy to all of the beautiful possibilities of your life. And that takes reframing, raising your vibrational frequency, seeing things differently, and freeing up that energy to tap into that better opportunity. You want to align with that better opportunity. So things like, when one door closes, a better door opens for me. The universe always has my back. The universe is showing me to a better, new chapter of my life that's more exciting, that's more abundant. That frees up that energy. But you do have a right to feel fear at the beginning, but you don't want to hold on to it forever. Acknowledge it, allow it to run through you, and then free up that energy for the better opportunity. Okay, so that's a beautiful question. Do you believe in number codes? Absolutely, Corey. I do, because all numbers have a vibrational frequency. It's all frequency, and numbers have an energetic frequency. And so, yes, I do believe, like the Schumann frequency and the Solfeggio frequency, and these frequencies have different qualities to them. That's why I love sound healing. I love tuning forks, which is all frequency, because different frequencies have different energetic qualities to them. And certain frequencies can calm you down. Other frequencies might make you a little bit more anxious. Some frequencies frees up energy better and makes you more abundant. So yes, frequencies is a beautiful thing. Um, Vivian Najera, is it okay to abandon a toxic source of income? Yes, if you feel that it's a toxic source, I would definitely abandon it if that's how you feel. Because what it is this is that the universe can give you a positive source of income. But as long as you're retaining that toxic source, you can't free up your energy to bring in the positive income source. You see what I'm saying? Because you've cluttered your energy. So once you let that go, then you freed up energy so that the positive income source can come in. So, a lot of people ask me to do personal readings, and they would be willing to pay for me or get personal consultations. But the reason why I say no, and I'm sure I can make a lot of money doing that, is because I have to free up my energy to be able to do this live session, to be able to do my videos, and to be able to I'm creating a beautiful AI technology platform. So if I don't have the energy because I'm so bogged down by doing personal consultations, I won't have the positive high frequency energy to do the other thing. So you see, so I've given that up, and I don't take money. I don't accept money for personal consultations because of this very reason. And I know that the universal forces I always say, universe, thank you so much. I know that I'm doing the right thing. This is the right course. I don't have to make an income this way, but my income will come in different ways that is more positive, that is more high frequency, because I'm freeing up my energy. Because if you don't have the energetic space, then you can't bring in the positive energy income source. So letting go of something that you think is toxic is actually a beautiful thing. And then tapping into that infinite possibility again, right? The infinite possibility and the infinite potential of you and the infinite possibility of your life, tapping into that energy that the universal forces will show you and guide you to that positive income source. Having that faith, having that trust is so important. So so it's a beautiful question. So thank you so much. I deeply appreciate that question. Thank you so much, Corey. Oh my God, Corey, you're too generous with your donations. Too generous. Don't expect it, but you're way too generous. Thank you so much. Kid, good. I'm so glad that you're checking. Oh, Corey, that's so sweet of you. Corey just gave me another donation. Corey, thank you so much. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. I do not expect it, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hello, Lola. You're welcome, Vivian. Hello, M. Lola. I'm curious. I'm just curious. Does the beads you're wearing around your wrist have significance, such as the red and black one? Yes. I custom designed these beads, and you could get them at my shop at shop.yinandyangliving.com. I custom designed it based on my logo, which is the crescent moon and the round sun, which is the yin and yang energies. Because in Chinese, the yin is the moon and the sun is the yang. So that's why my logo is the crescent moon and the round sun. So I literally custom designed these prayer beads for the round sun and the crescent moon, which reflect to leverage the power of the moon yin and the sun yang energies. So I wear them a lot. And they come in different 10 different color combinations, and you could get them at shop.yinandyangliving.com. And they sell well. People, I mean, this one lady, she bought like every color combination. She bought the necklace. I mean, recently she bought every single color combination because I guess she really liked it. So yes, you could hold on to them or you could wear them. So it's really has a lot of meaning. Everything that I do has to feel like everything that I put out for you has to feel like it's on my soul's path. And the prayer beads really I'm very passionate about prayer beads, and I have other prayer beads that I hold on to when I meditate. So I'm very passionate about prayer beads. So yes, you could get them at shop.yinandyangliving.com. Thank you for that question. Okay, Corey, I'm grateful for you too, Corey. YC, hi, YC, hello. You're welcome, Lola. This is amazing. Thank you for hosting this. And Corey, you're cheering me up by just hearing about your doing. Oh, that's so sweet. That's wonderful. That, Corey, your positive energy is infectious. You see how your positive energy is so infectious? That's so beautiful. All the best in developing the AI platform. Yes, what we're doing is we're going to take the traditional Chinese medicine and we want to turn it into an AI platform where you can go and use it for your own wellness. So it's the user prototype is actually being developed now. I have the most amazing co-founder, and I'm so excited about this project because, I'm very excited about traditional Chinese medicine because traditional Chinese medicine is based on an energetic system. It's based on qi, the life force energy. It's based on yin yang energies, and it's based on the 5 elements: the metal, the wood, the fire, the water. So it's an energetic, and I talk about energy all the time. So I'm very, very passionate about TCM. Okay, everyone. So if there's no other question, and you'll be hearing about it when we launch, you'll be hearing about it. So stay tuned. And I'm putting a lot of energy into that AI platform. So it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So thank you so much. Okay, so let's, if you don't have any questions, we could do our closing prayer and send you off for a beautiful rest of your week. And again, you could get, again, the TCM, my TCM herbs, the traditional Chinese medicine herbs, Yuping Fang San Plus, and Xiaoyao San. Xiaoyao San is to help focus and calm the mind. The Yuping Fang San Plus is to help support a healthy immune system. And you could get that at the shop as well as these prayer beads. So let's do a closing prayer. Dear God, angels, spirit guides, and masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to open this sacred space and discuss the topic of manifesting during fear and uncertain times. I ask you to please bless all of these beautiful souls, beautiful, beautiful souls. Allow them to see the infinite possibility of their lives and their infinite potential to be able to align themselves with the scenario, with the virtualization, with the vision of what they desire as opposed to what they are fearing. Allow them to acknowledge that fear and let it run through their body, and allow them to have trust in your infinite ways, infinite possibilities to support them in ways that they can't even imagine. I thank you for your continued supporting of them, whether it's in their health, money, career, business, relationship, whatever it is. Continue to support them and guide them. And we're deeply grateful for that unconditional support, unconditional guidance, unconditional protection, and most importantly, your unconditional love. And so it is. Namaste. But so it is. Much love and blessings to all of you. I really appreciate all